Hello everybody. In this video we're going to continue doing our Pseudo Shop or Mucho Shop, how I call it right now. And in the last video what we did, the project was already have the authentication piece, so we add the authorization, and after we added the authorization we added the inventory page and the home page. Now we need to start working with the cart functionality, and at the end we want to see the orders functionality. So one thing that I would actually like to have is to have the cart be set up at the beginning. That means that whenever we need to actually have something in the added to the cart, whenever we log in, that cart is going to be like resetted. So after we have the reset, we can actually see some elements of the cards that need to be displayed. So let me get started. So one of the things that I want to start making some changes is in my store. And I already added right here. So as you can see, whenever I log in, I create a new cart document with my user ID. So I have only one cart per user. And I specify the items is going to be 0, one empty array, and the total is going to be 0. That means the total of the amount that is going to be calculated through the items. So after I have actually that, we can see that in my store I have my cart with my user, and we have that empty array and my total of 0 whenever I already log into the application. Now we need to start looking at that cart and that functionality. So the first thing that I want to have that cart icon on the top right of my page, and I probably have like a little number depending on how many items I have there. So let me look for that. And for that we will need to go to the navbar section, and you will see that I have something already here. So after we have the button with the drop down, I have a badge, and that badge will have the cart an icon and a badge with the cart item length. So we need to bind the cart item length to verify how many we have. So right here, just we need to have a couple of things that are going to be working in our application. So let me verify really quick in my notes, just I don't want to make any more mistakes. So this is something that I already did. So in my navbar, one of the first things that I need to do is of course importing my database. So I will import my database, so I'm going to be able to use it right here. So after we import it, we know that we need to bind it, and we need to bind it in the created element on the mounted. So let's actually put the be mounted, and I'm going to call it this.bind the way that we have been doing so far. And after we call this.bind, is going to be a synchronous function before the map actions. So we're going to bind our cart element to the collection, and we're just to bind it to a specific cart element that is going to be for the user ID. The user ID, we already have it together, so that means that the cart element that we already have actually here is going to be read through that. So after having that, we can see that we have that little cart with 0 elements in there. So if we log out, it disappears. If we log in, that little card should appear where it's supposed to, hopefully. And it didn't. So let me just move it a little bit. Let me do a quick refresh. And there you go. And we have some kind of issues because it's a synchronous element, so it's actually like waiting to load or not to load. So probably in order to fix it, and this occurs to me right now, I have that element right here. So we can actually have it only if cart items exist. If cart item exists, we just apply it. So let's see if it actually works. Let me log out, let me log in. And hopefully it will have the information that we need. Didn't. Collection reference requires first argument to be a type not empty. Oh, that means that the user is not defined yet. So we're not reading the user because we're calling this in the mountain. So let's actually call this a little bit later. So let's actually call it before or before update. Let's actually call it there. There's another lifecycle, it's a little bit later. So let's try again. So let me log out, let me log in, and let's see if that actually works. It didn't. But if we refresh, it didn't work. Something really weird here. So let me actually pause the video and let me find out what is happening. Vuetify fix it. So let me just log out. That card disappeared. If I log in again, we can see that my card appears again with that particular 0. There you go. The only things that I did is just change the bound to be updated. That means at the end of the life cycle. And let me show you that. So there's something called Vue.js lifecycle. It's the different methods or intersections that can do something. And probably we can have it here. No. And there we go. This will give us an explanation, but this actually came from here, and I want to see this file. So when a new Vue element is created, then probably we should be seeing this in the beginning. It happens different things, right? So we have the lifecycle are these red things. So whenever it starts, before it created, after it's created, before it after it's mounted, and then it's here pretty much show it, that element. And then before update, and when it's updated, what the virtual DOM will get changed somehow. Right, that's pretty much the life cycle, and then we have the before destroy and destroy. So different stages for the Vue element. So we've been calling the binding in this particular in the mounted element. Right, but somehow not always working because we have asynchronous data, so we need to be careful. So what I did is just call that in the updated element. After everything gets updated, I just call that binding to happening, and when we are able to see it. I did that one there, and also I did something extra. Instead of verifying that the items exist, I just verify that the card exists, because at the beginning the card is empty, and just when I created this one, it's pretty much doing what it's supposed to be if card, and it's where we can see that this is working as it's supposed to. If I click it, I can go to the card and go back. So now that I have the card functionality the way that it's supposed to, I can actually go to my home view and start working how to add element to the card. So let's see our source code. Let's go to home, and we saw that whenever we click on add to card, we generate the add to card and we create a product there. So the add to card is not there, so we need to add it for now. In order to add it, it's going to be really simple. That's going to be pretty much, give me just a minute. After my binding, in my methods, right here, I will create another synchronous add to cart where I send that product. And it's going to see it way to get that product, and it will update something. So while it will update the item, but there is something particular because item is actually an array. So I use the array union. So whatever is there, I will just add the new product that I'm actually clicking. By default, I added the product ID, product name, just to have it. By default, it's going to be quantity 1 and the price of that particular product. So I'm just adding those there. So that means if I add this, that gets updated. If I add this one, that gets updated too. If we go to the database, we can see this have the two elements actually there. But something really interesting is happening. Our total is not get quantified. So we need to actually verify that, or how to do that. But here's the really strange thing. I want that to be doing actually automatically. I don't want to do anything there. I want to Firebase to handle that, and we need to go and talk about a little about functions and what they are. So there's something called Firebase functions, and that's going to be described in these sections. So those Firebase functions, what they are, different pieces or element, and actually you can see that video over there, and it's going to help you to understand a little bit. So some little pieces that's going to do whenever something happens. In order to create a function, what we need to do is a couple of things. So let me just get to my notes really quick, and I will be back in a minute. So in order to get started, we can click actually get start, and we'll tell you what to do. I will give you, we need to install globally or Firebase tools. So we need to do that. And the next step, we just need to do the Firebase init and Firebase deploy. Firebase init will tell us what to do about it. So let's actually do it. So it's waiting for my first deploy. What I want to do is I will open a new terminal. You can actually close this one if you want. I want to leave it open. So I will go to my projects, I will go to STC, Spring, and I will go to my shop. So now that I'm here, I just want to add yarn global add Firebase tools. I already have installed it, so it is going to be fast in my system. Probably will take a little longer in yours. Oh, it's supposed to be fast. Okay, there you go. And now that I'm here, I can actually use Firebase init. That will initialize something specific for Firebase. So probably the first time we'll ask you to actually, you need to log in. If that actually happens, just put your credentials in there. You open like a pop-up Windows, you put your Gmail credential, and that should be enough. And then you can able run it and say like here. So the things that I want to add it is I want to add a function. So I select the function with the spacebar and click enter. And I will use an existing project. And I will select the project that I have already in my Firebase. So this project is actually called Pseudo Shop. So I will just select it. I want to use JavaScript. And here one, I just put yes, why not? I will want to install the dependencies right now. I will put no, because I don't want to use npm for all the dependencies, just a personal matter. And that should be enough. So now that I have that, and actually there is, look like there is something there, my application changes a little bit, and I want to show you that. Now I have functions where those actually have index file. So this function is nothing to do with my Vue.js app. It's independent, it's in the root directory. Vue.js will not care actually for that function, but because we have this repository, it's a good idea to have it there. So I can actually go through here, I can go to cd to my functions, and I can install my dependencies with yarn. And it didn't like it. So let me do yarn again inside the functions. Oh, so let's actually use npm install. Or somehow didn't like yarn to be inside another project. So let's actually do npm install. and that should install everything in this extra package JSON that we have here. I will create a new node modules that is only inside my function. Don't worry that node module is already created out. So after you have everything there installed, we're going to create a node function. It's going to be really simple to use, and we're going to use the old JavaScript for that. So the way that actually works, let me just copy over, and you will see there's something similar that we already know. It's something like this. So here we just require a Firebase function. Just have that one already there. That's the only one. And after we have that Firebase function, we can just have the update user. It's how actually going to be called. Actually, let's update user. It's actually update card. You're going to get the document card, and we're going to say that whenever user ID, this is like a variable, that's why it's under curly bracket. And when something happened there, so when this update get updated, what I'm going to do is I get that data whenever it changes, like getting the new card information, and I will calculate my total. This is a simple reduce function that came from JavaScript, and getting the total is going to be it's going to go item by item. It's going to check the item quantity multiplied by the price. It's going to be added to the total. The total by default is a 0, so this is just pretty much like is for each element in item, pretty much go to check the quantity, multiply by the price, and add it to the total. That's what I'm saying. And then after that, we're saying that set the reference. I'm going to change the total with the new total that we are actually calling here. Of course, we're just making sure that that's fixed, that is fixed to 2, and we need to merge it, so we need to keep the other element there. So after we have that, we just need to do Firebase deploy, and this will take a minute. It will deploy the function that we have, and we just need to wait and wait. And we have an issue here. Ooh, something didn't like it. See the functions, Firebase deploy. So I need to do probably inside my function folder. Sorry for that. We're just waiting a little bit. It's creating that function. It's going to be uploaded, and this is something that will happen in the Firebase side every time that we have an update to this card element. And I'm doing this because I just want to make that total automatically. I don't want to be calculating the total, reading that document again, go mapping, and then do that through my application. I want to Firebase to handle that for me and try to prevent any errors in that section. So we just need to wait a little bit longer, and if this takes longer, probably need to pause the video, and I will resume actually after it's finished. So let me do that. So let me pause it, and I'll be back when the deployment is done. Actually, it's already done. So now that it's actually deployed, we just need to wait for some seconds. Well, we can actually go through here. We can go to the dashboard. We can refresh it, and you will see that that function is going to be already there. Perfect. That means that will update the card whenever this document gets updated. That's going to be the trigger. So let's actually see if that actually works. So let's do that change manually to my card. So I have this card here, and let's change this quantity to 2, and let's update. We give it some seconds. And it looks like it didn't work. We refresh just to see in case. There you go. the total get updated. So let me modify this to 2 again. And then in some seconds we'll see that the total gets updated. You were saw over there. So let me get back this to 1. The total get updated. Let me change this one to 1 again. And the total get updated. Pretty neat, right? So that function will give you the capability to update the total, and whenever we just create a new element, and that will allow us to just go to the cart and see that there. Something extra that I want to handle is whenever we have an element already in the cart, but I don't want to see it in the cart anymore. So let's handle that. So one way to do it will be in a source code, and let me move this over here. There you go. I can close my function. I don't need it anymore. We are done. So the only things that we can do actually is go into my home directory here. I need to read my cart because from home I cannot see it. I can see it from navbar, but not from home. So my cart is going to be an empty, and whenever I bind it, and I will bind this particular card here to get the card from this particular user, and probably we just need to do the updated method just to make sure that everything is there in order to do the binding. If we check that, it didn't work. So let me just log out. Something is happening here. Let me refresh. We're supposed to see that. Didn't like it. Let me change this to mounted again. Okay, there you go. So let me log in. After we logging in, we can see, okay, everything is there. Let me verify if my content, home, I have my cart. Yes, my cart is there. It's actually empty, as we can see. So if we add something to the cart, my cart just get updated. Let me check. It did it or it didn't? Oh my god, it didn't. Let's add something else. There you go. Oh no. Oh my god, it's not working. So something happened with my element. Let me log out again. Let me log in. My card should be 0. When I add something, it gets added there. But if I go to the home, my card element is still there. And then it is actually happening because I already have binding in progress. I cannot rebind it again, probably. So these are actually the occasions that using the Vuex story will be a lot more easier for this kind of elements. And probably we should be using that from the beginning, but at this stage, just too late. So let me just delete this and let me remove that part. Sorry for that waste of time, guys. Worst video ever, I know. But let's just keep it like that, and just need to be careful not to add something twice. Now that I have that on the card, now we need to handle the card's element and how we can actually see it. So for that, we just need to modify, and actually I believe I can add everything and add to cart and home view. There you go. And now we need to modify the cart element and show the information that we need to have in there. And because this is not going the way that I expected to go, let me be lazy again and just copy over everything. And as you can see, I just add shopping cart, that I have the element that I added, the element I added the price, I got the quantity, and the quantity is a text field that's already populated. I get that item cost, and I'm getting the total right here. The cool thing is I update this value, get calculated. I don't use how that calculating here. So let me that change to 3. Get away from that, like getting outside the scope. It's calculating, and it gives me that calculation by default. The same through here. And we see it's actually working. We're supposed to be adding like some kind of validation. You need to actually compare it with the quantity that you have in your inventory. I'm not doing that. I'm being really lazy. I just want to show you like the process really quick, and I believe this video is already too long. So we can actually see that this get updated the way that we need it. So let's actually see the code, so see what I did there. So what I did is a simple container with a row. We have the shopping cart there, and then after that we have a cart. In the cart, I don't have a title. I just go to the cart text and I go through a list, and that list is the one that's going to have different items. So the first item is going to be a V4, and that list item is actually this size. Am I doing like in a row way? Sorry. So actually have the different contents, and then at the end I have an action. So what I'm doing is for every items in my cart items, of course my cart items get populated through here, the binding of those ones that I needed. So after I have that binding, I can see my item name, my item price, then my number is going to be the item quantity, so it's going to be the particular value, and something will happen whenever I change it. I will show you that in a minute. And then I have a calculated field to fix it to 2. That's the item quantity by the item price. So this is just to show here. That's why it gets updated right away. And this one gets updated from our database, because I'm getting my total. And that total will show only after calculating is actually false. So when it's calculating, you show that text calculated. If not calculating, that's why we have the bills, I just show the total. That's why I'm doing that, in order not to, let me show you why I'm doing that. So let me delete this and probably comment this out, because I do something like this. Let me change this to 1. You see that the quantity stays there for a while, so probably can be a misbehavior. So let me change to 3. So until you go to the database do what it's supposed to and then get back, is actually what is happening. So what I'm doing there, I just add in a calculating fields, and let me just put this as a bills. Of course, if I continue or I create the order, if depending the case. So I have my card, I'm calculating to false. I get the user because I always need to get the user. I do my binding for the card, the way that we already know to do. And whenever we change, this change is happening when my value change, something I want to do with that particular item ID. That's what I'm intended there. So when this change, I can make calculating to true, so I'm hiding that total, not to show it. So I get the card, the current card, and look for that particular item ID for the quantity. And what I'm doing is, if that item from that card is the same item ID that I'm changing, my quantity is going to be the new quantity that I'm putting there. So I'm creating like a post update element, and then I need to wait to save that to my database. This is what I'm doing. So after I save everything to the database is when I change my calculating to false, because at that moment pretty much the probably Firebase already calculated the total and have it where it's supposed to. So it's pretty much, and the card element is just this card, and this card is just like a copy of what the database already have. So I'm not updating the database directly, I just have it like a swallow copy, verify that that item ID, I search for that, change it, and then with that swallow copy I set it as the correct element for that card. So I pretty much rewriting the whole card element again with that particular values, and that's it. So that's the only one to have it there. Another way we need to verify, we can put it right here, is that calculating can be actually the value of the product inventory. So something that you can actually play around right there. I don't want to do it because I'm being lazy again. Sorry guys for this video. I don't want to make it that long. I don't want to be that boring. That's it. You want to show like a quick example. Right now we don't have the time to actually have those kind of calculations. So after we have that, I have my create order. My create order will be something like go to PayPal, go to Stripe, wherever you want to go. But right now I'm just getting straightforward and send it. I create an ordered element, and this order element I just send this user ID and save the content of the card, and let's say that payment is already done, something, whatever. And then I create, and then the same card I just empty it out and I push it to route. So that means if I do checkout, I go there, my cart is empty. But if I go to my database, I can see actually I have an order, and I have an order for this particular user. So this user can actually have an order for this element. And I can create another order. Let's actually create another order for that particular same user. Oh my god, sorry for that. So let's create this one, and this will have just 10 of this element. I do checkout, I will create that order, and on last order for this one, I just want to check one. Perfect. Let me log out. Let me log in again, now with my other account. Let me do that, let me save it, and let me create an order, simple one. And after those are there, I go to my cart, I do my checkout, and boom, my order is there. Let me do another logout, login with Google. Because I want to see like the main one. So I just created a couple of orders and with different users. I just want to have something populated in my database. So we saw different orders already there. Excellent. Now that I need to work here is added cart. The last element that I need to change is going to be my orders element. And here we're going to have a look just like a list of all the orders that need to be happening that I already did. And this one going to use the expansion panel. It's something really cool that Vuetify have. I don't know if we already did in another video, probably in another series, but it's something like this where you have something can be expanded, and that's pretty neat. So I will have like the order information right there, and then when you open it you will see like the details, all the elements that you have in your order. So in order to use it, you have expansion panels, and then each panel with the header and the one that is showed and the content. Really simple to use. So for saying that, I will copy this over, and I have my orders title. I have an expansion panel. I have my expansion panel, then each expansion panel is going to be for each one of my orders. My order is going to be only the orders when I am the owner, I am this user ID. So I only can see my own orders, that's why. And what I'm doing is just create that content. And the header is going to have the order with the number of the order ID, and we have the total. And then the content is going to be each one of those elements that we saw in the card. The difference that the quantity now is another subtitle instead of being a text field. That's the only difference there. So we can actually see this in action, and we can see if we can go to my orders. I have 3 different orders with this user. I have this one for $5.99, this other one where I requested 10 items, and this one when I requested 2 different elements. Pretty neat, right? Now if I go back, I log out, And let me log out with my email. Let me actually saw if I go to my orders, I can see the order for this particular user. It's really different than the other orders. Pretty neat, right? And I believe something that I've been missing to show you guys. Something extra that you can do is probably like calculate like the taxes. You can actually put it there in the cart. So I'm not doing that for now. So now that we have that order, of course we just have the binding for the order and getting the user from the user. So this one is actually really simple. Actually this is simple to enough. The only things that I want to add at the end, and let me check if I actually applied that before I actually say something. Yes, I have it there. Really silly, it's really simple, but I have it. So I will add this, added my order. So the only things that I want to do now is if I go to as a admin user, I can go to the inventory. I'm supposed to be able to see the orders too, right? Everything that will happen in my shop. So we can actually have some kind of tabs probably to see the products, see the orders, but I want to be really simple. I just want to put the orders at the end. So the only things that I'm going to be doing is call my element for the orders, and that's going to be my inventory. So I will have my B data. After my products, I have my orders there, and in my bindings I will have my binding for the orders. Now I don't need to have any type of statements or filter the data, because I want to get all the orders. And after I get all the orders, let me go and let's copy this expansion panels probably. Let me copy actually the whole row. Copy this whole row. You can see we can just extract it. And let me go to the inventory. And after the last row, I just put it there and change the from all orders. And probably I can have this H1 to the top, all products. So that will allow me to have my all product. Oh my god, probably it's going to be after the dialog, even just before the table. You know, all products, all orders, and now because I'm an admin, I can see the order for everybody. Pretty neat, right? But if I go to my orders, I can see just mines. So this will help us to have an idea a little bit what we need to do actually with a shopping cart. I know that we are lacking a lot of functionality. I'm really aware of that. But the purpose is just to show like a really broad idea, because this is actually, in order to create a shopping cart, it's a really big project that probably in another video, on a further lesson, we can actually have a bigger series talking about that. But it's going to be really broad. You have the simple things in there, tell you what is lacking. So if you want to improve it, you can actually go there and improve it. But it's just to have a really quick overview of the whole process. How to have an inventory, how to show the products, how to hide one particular product that you want to show in there. I'm talking about how to add it to the cart and everything. And now I didn't show something about PayPal and Stripe that get a little more complex in other ways. So probably in a later video, in a later function lesson, we can see it. But for now, let's just keep it like that. So with this is pretty much everything that I have. I hope that you like it. If not, also let me know, right, in order to improve it. So any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me, guys. Happy coding.